Most people think businesses fail because they don't grow fast enough. So founders chase sales, chase scale, chase momentum. But here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of businesses don't die from lack of growth. They die from too much of it. Too fast. You'll hear stories like, "We were doing amazing, and then everything collapsed." Sales were up, demand was strong. From the outside, it looked like success. So what went wrong? This video isn't about motivation or hustle. It's about mechanics, the boring, unglamorous parts of business that decide whether growth helps you or destroys you, because growth is powerful. But without control, it doesn't lift a business. It speeds up its failure. Here's the first thing most people don't realize about growth. Sales come in later, expenses hit immediately. When a business starts growing, you don't get rich first. You spend first. You pay for ads before customers buy. You order inventory before it sells. You hire people before revenue becomes consistent. So even though revenue looks like it's going up, cash is quietly going down. This is where many businesses get confused. They look at dashboards and think, sales are increasing, we're doing great. But their bank account tells a different story. There's a timing gap between money going out and money coming in. Finance people call this the working capital cycle, but you don't need the term to feel the pain. Growth stretches this gap wider and wider. And if you don't have enough cash to survive that stretch, the business doesn't fail slowly, it snaps. That's why founders say, "We were profitable on paper, but still ran out of money." Most people assume growth works like this: more sales, more profit. In reality, it works like this: more sales, more problems, more costs. When a business is small, costs feel manageable. But once volume increases, expenses don't rise politely, they stack. Customer support increases, returns increase, refunds increase, software tools multiply. Mistakes become expensive instead of annoying. In e-commerce, this hits even harder. Ads get more expensive as you scale. Platforms take their cut on every transaction. Chargebacks don't care how fast you're growing. And here's the dangerous part. Many of these costs don't show up immediately. So revenue graphs look amazing while margins quietly shrink underneath. That's why you hear, "We doubled revenue but made less money." Growth compresses margins before it expands profit. If your systems aren't tight, growth doesn't reward you. It punishes you faster. Growth doesn't create problems. It reveals the ones you were already ignoring. At a small scale, weak systems hide really well. A late shipment, you apologize. A manual process, you handle it yourself. A small error, you fix it once and move on. But scale doesn't forgive shortcuts. At 10 orders a day, a mistake is manageable. At 1,000 orders a day, the same mistake becomes chaos. Customer support collapses, fulfillment gets delayed, suppliers mess up, refunds pile up, and suddenly the business feels out of control. That's not because growth broke it. Growth just stress tested it. Every weak process, every unclear role, every "we'll fix it later" decision gets amplified. This is why experienced founders obsess over systems before scaling, because speed multiplies efficiency and inefficiency. If the foundation is weak, growth doesn't lift the business. It cracks it. Fast growth creates pressure, and pressure changes how decisions get made. When growth is slow, you think. When growth is fast, you react. You hire quickly instead of carefully. You choose suppliers based on availability, not reliability. You accept worse margins just to keep up with demand. None of these decisions feel wrong in the moment. They feel necessary. That's a problem for later. We'll fix it once things stabilize. We just need to move fast right now. But right now lasts longer than expected. Speed creates decision fatigue. Your brain stops optimizing and starts surviving. And survival mode decisions trade long-term stability for short-term relief. The scary part? These decisions don't break the business immediately. They weaken it quietly. So when growth slows, and it always does, the business collapses under rushed choices made during its fastest phase. One of the most dangerous things about growth is how convincing it looks. Sales are up, traffic is up, revenue, screenshots look impressive. So nobody asks uncomfortable questions. Margins shrinking? Ignored. Cash flow tightening? Temporary. Operational stress? That's a good problem to have. Growth creates confidence, even when the foundation is cracking. Because things look good from the outside, warnings get dismissed, problems get delayed, fixes get postponed, until there's no room left. That's why many businesses don't fail gradually. They fail suddenly. One bad month, one delayed payment, one platform issue. Growth masked the fragility underneath. It didn't cause the collapse. It hid it. Growth isn't the enemy. Uncontrolled growth is. Healthy businesses grow at a pace their systems, cash flow, and people can handle. Because growth doesn't fix weak foundations, it exposes them. A business that grows slowly but survives will always beat one that grows fast and collapses. So before chasing speed, ask a better question. Can this business survive its own success? Because in business, growth isn't the goal. Sustainable growth is. If this changed how you think about growth, like the video, it helps more than you think. And subscribe if you want honest breakdowns of business. See you in the next one.